Hey you guys, I'm back with another video. This is Hannah the Creator here. Thank you for tuning in again. Today's video, I am doing another Kanye Bear, of course, because I'm a Kanye fan. But no, this one is very special to me because I was going through my old sketchbook from high school, and mind you, I graduated from high school in 2013. So I was going through my old high school sketchbook, and I found this sketch, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm making a 3D model of this. So today's video is showing you the sculpting process that I use on Nomad Sculpt. And yeah, so let's jump into it. So right now I am working on his face, and surprisingly this has been easy, a little bit hard, but I rate this as intermediate, I guess, if you want to say it. So right now I'm just trying to get his indentation of his face right, and as you see, my sketch in the back as a reference. And then so now I'm trying to mold his head to make it like that bear shape. And I don't know if you remember my last video of my baby Boop. Her head was very lumpy. I'm still a beginner in this, so this one was much better because his head wasn't that lumpy in the back, so I'm happy with that. So right now I'm trying to do the eyes, and all it is just a spear cut in half and make it look like a little egg shape. So that's what I'm doing now. And you know, if you feel intimidated by this, please don't, because you could draw anything. And if you ever ask an artist that draws or paint, how do you draw, how do you paint, you know, it looks realistic, and it's you know, it looks so good, and they will probably always say, well, I just look at things as shapes. You know, a phone is a rectangle, so start off with a rectangle and then just build off of that. So that's literally what I'm doing. As you can see, I've used a spear, a cylinder, I'm gonna use a cube. You know, you just got to think of art as shapes, and then you can just build on to those shapes and add your own little flair. So right now I'm trying to do the hat. Now the hat was kind of hard to do, but we made it through. I tried to use the shell mask, so please tell me there's an easier way to do this. Tell me in the comments, and I will try that in my next video. So yeah, now I'm trying to do the hat and make sure that everything is okay. I had to use a smooth tool so it can smooth everything out. That is the key to 3D, is making sure your model is smooth so it looks more realistic and, you know, polished. So right now I'm trying to do the indentation, so it's separating the head from the hat. So I use the crease tool, and now I'm trying to inflate the hat so it comes off of his head a little bit. But then I was like, okay, that's too much inflation, so I am flattening it and then smoothing it out again. And so now I am just trying to make sure the hat looks proportionate on all sides. Sometimes I use the symmetry tool, but sometimes I don't, because I like my model to look a little bit more organic and not so symmetrical. So now I am working on the buckle of the hat. And I just used a cylinder cut in half, and then I have to make sure that I get the indentation right to separate the head from the hat. So I used the crease tool, and then flatten it and then smooth it again. And then I am flattening it once more to give it a little bit more depth, so you could tell from the side that, okay, this is the hat and it's going inside. And so now, you guys, I'm doing the little buckle that goes on the buckle. No, that don't sound right. I'm guessing this is, I don't wear a hat, so what is this? Is this I don't know what it is. Oh my god, it's gonna kill me. Tell me in the comments what the little belt, I guess it's a belt. Okay, we won't say belt. Problem solved. Belt. Okay, moving on. So now I'm getting into the drip. So I was like, okay, let's use the tube tool, but I was like, okay, this is not working because look how it looks. It does not look like a drip. So then I was like, okay, shapes. What does the drip look like? Oh, I could use a cone. So guys, literally, it's a cone upside down. And then I used the move tool to make, you know, it look a little bit more organic. And then at the tips, I just added more layers on it. so it could look actually like a drip, like circle at the bottom instead of like a pointy end. So I did the same thing to the other drip, but then I was like, you know what, let me just X that out, duplicate the other drip, and then change it up a little bit by moving it around, because I'm like, work smarter, not harder. You know, the first drip came out perfect, so I just duplicated it again to do the third drip that would be on his ear. Now when doing 2D to 3D, it's not going to look 100% like the 2D drawing. So like you can see in my drawing, it looks like it's like merged into his ear. But on the 3D model, I kind of wanted to sit like a little bit on top of the ear. So that's what I'm doing now, is trying to like smooth it out so it looks like it's on top of the ear as well. Moving on to the body, I used a cylinder for his neck and then another spear for his body. And then I made it look like a little egg shape. So that's what I'm doing now. And then I'm trying to figure out, okay, how I'm going to make the rest of his body drip at the bottom. So I kind of use the split tool to cut out the body at the bottom. And then now I'm moving on to the arms. And then the arms, I just used the tube tool and duplicated it, trying to make sure it is leveled. And then here comes my other drips. And so again, I'm using a cone, and then I'm just going to add a little bit more layers at the bottom. And then I use the move tool to sculpt it. And then here's my other drip on the arm, same layer to build it out at the bottom. And then I use the move tool to kind of like sculpt how I want the arms to hang. And now I'm adding, well, I think I used the inflate tool at the bottom to add it, to make it look more like drips at the bottom. And then of course, smoothing, like I said, make sure it is smooth. And then now I am going to make sure the ears are right. So I did a little indentation on the ears. And then now I'm going back on the bottom half of the body because it looks kind of weird at the bottom. So I'm trying to, you know, look at it in all angles to make sure I like what I see. And with 3D, you have to like turn that thing upside down, right side up, you know, to make sure it looks good on all three sides, or all 360 sides. So then, you guys, I am printing this out. So I'm making a base so my model can stand on its own. And then I forgot, you guys, the hat brim. So now I'm going back and adding the hat brim. And then my last strip. Yes, and there it is. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please subscribe and like. I will be doing a part 2, which will be coloring the 3D Kanye Bear. So watch out for my next video. Thank you.